Hello, everyone, and welcome to STENO 24/7, your court reporting dictation channel. Today, I would like to do some dictation with you from the state of Wisconsin versus Stephen Avery transcript. This is the first day. If you're looking for this online, there's quite a few of them, so some of them vary, but I want to read some of that to you today for some dictation. So what we're going to do right now, I don't see my favorite little sharing thing where my face comes up on. I don't see that. Let's see what happens. Oh, that screen comes up. Oh, well. That is just, let's see here what happens. Sometimes I have no problems at all doing my live videos and putting my little thing up there. And then there are days, just as in court reporting, where it can be. Let's try this one and see what happens. Oh, wow. This one isn't much better. Okay, well, we're not going to worry about that. I'm just going to be dictating anyway, so please excuse the screen. Okay. We left off on page 137, verse 3, so we will be picking up on, verse 2, so we will be picking up on page 137, verse 3. And let's see, 37, 38, 39. Well, I'm just going to read. It's not going to be fast. I want everyone to be able to get into the writing. And so none of this is going to be extremely fast. I may speed it up to give you some challenge. But for the most part, you can just pretty much sit back, get your machine, relax, and let's just take our time and write this. And let's think about accuracy instead of speed. Shall we? Because with accuracy comes speed. Ready? Let's write. And what does Lieutenant Link and what does Sergeant Colborne do by way of volunteering to help that very afternoon, Saturday, November 5th? Let me stop right there. Oh, let me let you know what's going on here before we continue. This we've already done. The opening statement with the state of Wisconsin versus Stephen Avery. This is the defense opening statement. Let's continue. Do they volunteer to help look in the 4,000 cars? No. Do they volunteer to search Allen and Dolores Avery's home? No. How about the pole barns or the outbuildings of the salvage properties business itself? No. They volunteer to search Stephen Avery's trailer, and they do on November 5th. And once they get into that trailer with the search warrant, well, then what these two do, and there are two other officers with them, one from Manitowoc and one from Calumet. What Link and Colburn do is they say, don't worry, we'll take Stephen's bedroom. And they search this bedroom. Now, this is a mobile home. If the bedroom itself is 10 by 12 or 12 by 12 or 10 by 10, I would be surprised if it was much bigger than that. From me to the wall in front of you is about the depth and roughly the width of that bedroom in the small trailer in which Stephen Avery lives. They search, that is, Link and Colburn search his bedroom on the night of November 5th. And they find nothing of interest. They see the guns. They stay on the wall. But don't bother seizing guns on the 5th. Came back to those the next day. And it is Link and Colburn who came back the next day. Not somewhere on the property, but to Stephen Avery's trailer. On November 6th, they search his garage. Garage is actually between him and his sister Barb's trailer. But for our purpose here, let's call it his garage. You will find out that the Dassey boys have access to the garage. Barb has access. The family has access to this garage. But it's Link and Colburn and another detective from Manitowoc County named Dave Remiker, who searched the garage on Sunday, the 6th. They find 10. Maybe it's 11. Something, 10 or 11 spent 22 casings. And they pick all of those up. But remember the bullet that's found under little tent number 9 on the picture that Mr. Kratz showed you? The bullet that's apparently in a crack in the floor, right smack in the middle of the garage near the front where the door is, that no one sees or picks up on November 6th, November 7th, November 8th, and so forth through November 12th. Neither does anyone see a bullet back under the air compressor. But you will see photographs of that garage as it was in November 2005, not as it was in March 2006, when finally, lo and behold, why, there's bullets. Why don't we pick up these bullets? You will see the garage in photographs, not computer simulations. Photographs as it was in November 2005. You will be able to see that although the garage is very cluttered, and there's no clutter under the air compressor, there's no clutter there, where 4 months later, someone finds a magic bullet there as you walk into the garage, looking at the floor. November 7th, Stephen Avery's trailer is searched again. Guess who? Link and Colburn. Now, there certainly are over 50 enforcement officers on this property, 24 hours a day, well before November 7th, probably by sometime late the night of the 5th, certainly by the 6th. There may be over 100 law enforcement officers working this property. They have got the family excluded. They have got a perimeter around the entire 40 acres and more. They are controlling traffic and entry. They are logging in who comes and goes. They control this place. And as you heard Mr. Kratz say, they have got any number of people searching, but it's Link and Colburn again who are searching Mr. Avery's trailer there in the northwest corner of that salvage yard. And on November 7th, they find nothing of interest in his home. Tuesday, November 8th, they are back. They are back in Mr. Avery's home, back in that small bedroom. And now, Lieutenant Link, on what you will hear, is probably the 7th search of that small bedroom. Lieutenant Link, now, when he's the only one in that room, says, "Why, my gosh, there's a key sitting in plain view next to the nightstand. There is, you saw a picture of it as he says he found it. One solitary key on a ring connected to a FOB. That key FOB is just like, and probably is, the one that Teresa Halbach's younger sister brought her as a little present. One key, and one key only, on the ring connected to that FOB. And it's a Toyota key. And the man whom the state would have you believe bled all over Teresa's car manages not to bleed on her key. His blood isn't found there, although apparently, somehow, his DNA is, but not his fingerprints. And more interestingly, although this is a 1999 Toyota, and I gather she's been using this key, the state believes, every day to start her car and turn it off, Teresa Halbach's DNA and fingerprints are not found on her key. For good measure, on November 8th, Lieutenant Link and Sergeant Colburn searched Stephen Avery's garage yet again. No bullets, no nothing. And the case against Stephen Avery largely is made at that point. And a whole lot of it, as you will see, depends on Lieutenant James Link, Sergeant Andy Colburn, and they, both of them, have elected never to tell Sheriff Jerry Pagel, the man in charge of the investigation for Calumet County. They have elected not to tell him what they had their depositions taken in Stephen Avery's case, probably 3 weeks earlier. They didn't tell anybody in the Calumet County Sheriff's Department that. November 8th is also the one day that the bone fragments are found in a burn area hardly 20 yards outside of Stephen Avery's master bedroom window. Hardly 20 yards. Small, burnt bone fragments. Human burnt bone fragments. But what you will learn, and you do not hear this morning, what you will learn is that burnt human bone fragments also apparently are found in one of the burn barrels behind Barb Janda's house. Burnt the same way, fragmented about the same way, and apparently human in origin, not about, but there are 4 burn barrels to the southeast. That is the most distant corner of Barb Janda's trailer from Stephen Avery's trailer. 4 burn barrels back there for Barb Janda and the Dassey boys. Burnt bone fragments. And there are what seem to be probable human burnt fragmented bones found in the Radat gravel quarry, probably a quarter-mile south of Stephen Avery's property. Now, I don't think that the state has been able to link through DNA analysis those burnt bone fragments conclusively to Teresa Halbach. But how many burnt human bone fragments are there supposed to be? And when you only have one person missing, and the burnt human bone fragments in the Janda burn barrel, about which you did not hear this morning, those are fragments from bones that are not connected, not part of the limb, not connected to one another within the human body. Sort of a random mix of bone fragments, as apparently are those that are found a quarter-mile to the south in the Radat gravel pit. And as you piece this evidence together, here's what you're going to have to conclude. Bone fragments, parts of this body were found where they were not burned. They were burned and moved because, again, the fragments aren't connected to one another. It's not that, It's not that an arm could have been removed and burned one place and the rest of the body another place. We have got the fragments themselves mixed up and found in 3 different places. The body couldn't have been burned in that way, in 3 different places, or even 2. If you set aside the Radat gravel pit, these bone fragments were moved. The question then becomes, the question you will have to decide eventually is, were they moved from Stephen Avery's burn area to the Janda burn barrel, or the gravel quarry, or were they moved from somewhere else to Stephen Avery's burn area and maybe to one of the other places where bone fragments burnt are found? And I think that's great, guys. We're going to end it on page 144. We'll pick up on page 144, and then we're at verse 10. We stopped on verse 10. So the next video will be video number 27. And we'll start off on page 144, verse 11. So thank you, everyone, for coming. Please, please, please have a wonderful evening. Great season's greetings to everyone. Enjoy the holidays. And I'll see you at the next video. And if you would like to donate to this channel during this holiday season, please hit my PayPal button. And all donations are very much appreciated. Thank you so much. Happy writing, everyone.